Hello, I'm the Dark Master, and welcome back to my LEGO reviews. This time we'll be covering set number 70675, Katana 4x4. It is 450 pieces and comes with 5 minifigures. As always, let us begin with the minifigures. Despite its larger size, it actually has less than the previous set we reviewed. From left to right, we have Kai, Forbidden Spinjitzu Nia, Char, a Pyro Lasher, and a Pyro Slayer. As always, let us begin with the heroes of the set, starting with Kai. Kai is wearing his legacy hood, dual molded in red and dark red. Underneath is the standard movie Kai face we've seen for several years now. One has a DreamWorks smirk, the other an angry scowl. Going down, we see he wears that style of armor that allows one to hold a single katana in the back, in this case a silver one. Removing it, we get a better look at the average back print. To the side we see red arms with black hands. Going back to the front, we get a view of the torso print, which is honestly fine. I really like the utilitarian look with all the little bags. Going to the legs, we see his belt and some leg wrap. For weaponry, he wields a dragon-hilted blade, as mentioned previously, and a silver katana. The vehicle contains more weapons for him and Nia to wield, but I'll get to that later. Now, let's go to his sister, Nia. Forbidden Spinjitzu Nia is perhaps my favorite figure of the set, as well as my favorite of the FS Ninja, as this form is called. Starting with the hood, this has to be my favorite of the FS hoods. Just the blue transparency works really well with the gunmetal gray. And underneath, we get the standard Nia face. One with an open mouth smile, the other a smirk. Though it really looks like she's angry with the hood on. Overall, a really good hood and a really good face. Going down, she has no armor, but she has some really good torso printing, with a cute little water pendant. The aqua robes work well with the silver going on. On the back, and removing the hood, we get a better look at the back print. It is rather basic, but I still like this little silver button, which is kind of neat. The leg print is also pretty good. The blue belts is fine. It doesn't have a particular weapon to wield, but as stated previously, the vehicle does have several that she could potentially wield. But again, we'll get to that. Now let's go over the villains of the set. Let's start with Char, the general of the Pyro Viper faction. Starting from the top, we get a look at a head mold used for him in the Pyro Lasher. It actually resembles a viper, much more than the Cobra-esque variety we've seen before. In Char's case, he uses it in black and translucent orange. The light piping of the eyes is sufficient. And honestly, the mold is really well done. Moving down, we get a look at the Pyro Viper's armor in copper. I think it was really a missed opportunity to not have remolded in black, but I guess having it in gold and copper for the wave was just enough, but really it should have been black. Anyway, it still works, but it's just a bit awkward. Going to the torso, we see his black, scaly body with orange and red markings, plus some wraps in the mummy style. The back printing is similar, but more basic. He has a typical serpentine snake tail in black. The printing on it is fine. For weaponry, he wields a dual-headed snake spear. Kinda seems a bit blunt, but I'm sure it's still painful. Overall, a good, unique villain, and quite the contrast to Esfira, who's, all bright in coloration. Moving to the Pyro Lasher, it has the same head mold, but in brown instead of black. The armor is the same as Char, and it has some really good fiery mummy printing on both sides of the torso and the legs. When it comes to weaponry, as one would expect, this one wields a whip. The set comes with an extra one, so sometimes I give him both and make him dual wield. Regardless of whether you give him one or two, it's an okay mook. I would say it's definitely more unique than the other two variants in the wave. And truly, it's always nice to get a unique head mold remolded in various colors just for increased mockability. The final figure is a Pyro Slayer. He uses the same torso, legs, and arms as the Pyro Lasher, but instead of armor, it lacks that and uses the cobra-like head with the brown skin and trans-orange flames. It's an okay design, not really a Viper though, and personally I always think it's kind of weaker. For weaponry, the Slayer has an elf spear from Lord of the Rings theme, but now in copper. Also, he has a copper shield to make up for a lack of armor, I guess. Overall average, foot soldier design. It's really the weakest figure of the set and is just there to fill in a slot, but I think it still looks decent. Now let's go over the pieces. This set has the most pieces of the ones we reviewed so far, and really they're a good collection. You get loads of weapons, slopes, wheels, blades. The windshield and flame pieces in particular are really good. Of particular note is the Spinjitzu tornado Nia here generates when she has the Forbidden Spinjitzu scroll. There are these, sparkles and trans blue, and it's just so beautiful. It really looks like water, as opposed to plastic. And especially when it's contrasted against the gunmetal gray base, as this is dual molded. Once again, this has to be my favorite variety of the Forbidden Spinjitzu pieces, and it's a real shame that Ninjago always abandons these after a year. Overall, let's go over what these pieces build now. The first build is this little pedestal that is used to hold the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu. It's small, but the amount of detail is actually pretty good. We have these fur pieces in black representing lava rock and a lava bubble. There are these two heads of snakes used to form a sort of shrine. And as for the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu itself, it's okay. I mean, I've talked about it in previous reviews, but I do like the fact that it's molded in both orange and gold, and really, I wish there had been more varieties of it, because there's only two in the wave at all. And there's a third variety, but it doesn't even have a spear to go along with it. Now let's go over the build you actually came here for me to review, the Katana 4x4. Starting from the front here, we get a good look at the off-roader-esque vehicle wheels that have a bit of suspension, which is pretty good, and it will definitely increase playability. Then we get a look at the main function of the set. This circular saw blade goes forward and back. Whoa! In all honesty, I respect how subtle the mechanism is handled. No bright red button, it's black. But the final project is just a bit disappointing. The blade doesn't go out very far, and honestly, in my experience, it doesn't really spin very well. Maybe it's just this set and it's just my pieces, but this is a function that I think was just tacked on at the last minute. Personally, I think it could have been improved upon. Going up from that, we see a grill made of urukai blades, again from the Lord of the Rings theme, here in gunmetal gray. And there are two spring-loaded missiles heavily embedded and well hidden in the car hood. Going to the side, we get some stickers and some highly curved slopes that really help to give the appearance of aerodynamics. Then we also see the first pair of removable weapons, which are these double-bladed swords. There's also these two exhaust pipes. Going further down, we come to an extensively well done cockpit. The windshield and circular cockpits really give it a unique look. There are these plates on either side and a good use of a wheel. The chair looks really comfortable, as sort of like an epic gamer chair. And really, we see the massive engines that spew flames, giving it quite a exaggerated look. And there's also this glaring red pin, which is just extremely distracting. In the rear of the truck, we see a transition from red to Keat orange. Here in the back, there is a pair of clips to hold weapons like Kai's dragon blade and a shovel. Truly impressive. There's also a trunk in the back with even more weapons, and it's quite cool how it uses a fence as a sort of top. And inside, there are two curved blades and another generic silver katana. Going up, we see this neat little flag which uses a huge number of stickers and a spear as the shaft. Overall, I find the Katana 4x4 to be a perfectly average vehicle. I just wish that the blade on the bottom was used well and was more well done. Seriously, though, I mean, in the context, this makes no sense. I mean, if I run over something with this car, the Urukai blades would just kill it. I really don't need a buzzsaw to do extra damage. I mean, then again, these are resurrected from the dead, so maybe hitting them in a car wouldn't kill them, but still, man, it just seems tacked on. Overall, the set is a good buy. The minifigure selection is pretty good, with only one that I would call average. Nia FS and Char are standouts. The Spinjitzu piece is perhaps in its best coloration. The little build on the side is okay, and the vehicle, which is the main attraction, is actually perfectly average. I'd recommend it if you got the spare change. They might not with the current, let's just say, Wuhan flu-filled times. But overall, it's worth a buy. I'm the Dark Master. I hope you enjoyed the last 3 LEGO reviews. Due to current events, there may be a break between this and the next one. To make up for this, I'm releasing Ninjago lore videos, as well as resuming the Kirby Right Back At Ya retrospective, which you might see tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe for more LEGO content. I'm the Dark Master, and have a wonderful day. Also, yes, it will be a re-upload, but I've made it so that Nintendo probably won't claim it again. Anyway, peace out.